Welcome back to the God's Truth Daily channel. This is the third daily verse, so let's see this verse. Today's verse is John 1:14. So John 1:14 in NLT version says, "So the Word became human and made his home among us. He was full of unfailing love and faithfulness, and we have seen his glory, the glory of the Father's one and only Son." So what this pretty means is if in John 1:1, earlier in the chapter, it says, "In the beginning the Word already existed. The Word was with God, and the Word was God." And then after that, it continues to say, "He existed in the beginning with God. God created everything through him, and nothing was created except through him. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it." So pretty much, if you look at those first 5 verses of John 1, it's pretty much saying that the Word was Jesus. In the beginning, Jesus already existed. Jesus was with God, and Jesus was and still is God. Jesus existed in the beginning with God, and God created everything through Jesus, and nothing was created except through Jesus. Jesus gave life to everything that was created, and Jesus' life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. So the light, or actually the Word, is Jesus. So it's also a clue in the 4th verse. His life brought light to everyone. Jesus' life brings light to everyone in that he died so we don't have to live in darkness forever. We can live in his light. So his life does bring light to everyone. So therefore, Jesus is the Word that this is talking about. So the same word is being talked about in John 1:14. The Word became human. So Jesus came down as a human and made his home among us. That's true. He lived as a human for his lifetime before dying. And Jesus was full of unfailing love and faithfulness. Jesus is. That's what he's full of. And we have seen his glory, the glory of the Father's one and only Son. Jesus is God's one and only Son. Jesus is the Father's one and only Son. And we have seen his glory. We have seen Jesus' glory through his life. So, John 1:14, that's pretty much what he's saying. That's pretty much what John 1:14 is saying. In the Message version, it says, "The Word became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood. We saw the glory with our own eyes, the one-of-a-kind glory, like Father, like Son, generous inside and out, true from start to finish." Those are all characteristics of Jesus. Jesus became flesh and blood. Jesus moved into the neighborhood, or aka, he made his home among us. He dwelt among us on earth. And we saw the glory with our own eyes. The people that lived at the same time that Jesus was living saw the glory with their own eyes, the one-of-a-kind glory, because Jesus, there's no other Jesus. Jesus is the only Jesus. Like Father, like Son, because Jesus is God. So, like Father, like Son. They're all connected. Generous inside and out. That's another characteristic of Jesus. True from start to finish. That's, again, a characteristic of Jesus. In the ESV, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." So, again, this can be Jesus. Actually, it can be. It is Jesus. Glory as of the only Son from the Father. Jesus is the only Son from the Father. Jesus is full of grace and truth. Jesus became flesh and dwelt among us. So, whatever version you're reading, it's still describing Jesus. In the NKJV, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we behold his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Again, this is clearly Jesus. Jesus became flesh, Jesus dwelt among us, and the people who were there with Jesus beheld his glory, and it's only the only one begotten of the Father. That's God. That's the Father's only Son, and Jesus is full of grace and truth yet again. So, in every version you look at it, it's describing Jesus. So, that's pretty much what John 1:14 means. Tomorrow will be the next verse, and so on and so forth. Goodbye.